know what you mean. Seems like salvation comes only in our dreams. I feel my hatred grow all the more extreme. Can this world really be as sad as it seems? Tell me
To Watchtower Magazine again. And topic, what makes a marriage last? Everyone knows that. Great fucking. What? What? Great fucking does make a marriage last. Are you disputing that? Ay, ay, ay. Guards on the beach. Your parents have a better vantage point from which to warn you of potential danger. A blanket statement. I enjoy those. But that actually sounds like pretty good advice. However, may I ask you, what if you were enjoying a day at the beach, swimming along, minding your own business, when suddenly two people show up, and they say they know what's best for you? Now, these people have no authority of any kind. They are self-appointed. You may notice they came to the beach not even wearing swimming suits, but they insist that you, even though you're swimming along and you feel like you're doing fine, they insist to you that you are in terrible danger and your life is at stake. However, you find out a little later that these two people are members of an Armageddon doomsday group. Do you still feel that they have a better vantage point from which to warn you? I'm just kidding, friends. Calm down. I'm joking, but seriously though, what we have here is logical fallacy number 4, either slash or reasoning. You see, Jehovah's Witnesses have presented you with either or, which, as we have learned from previous Watchtower education though, that's a false premise. In any given situation, there may be multiple realities happening here. Perhaps your parents do have a better vantage point when buying a dishwasher. But if people believe that Armageddon was going to come in 1975 and it's 37 years later and they're still trying to warn you, maybe you I'm kidding, friends. Calm down. Everyone calm the ass down. Stop. But why not ask your parents? Because I'm sure your parents want to know where your parents stand on the issues raised in this article. Whoa, I'm not sure my parents will agree with Watchtower or not. That's a good question. I'm sure I'm a child who has been forced to read this article. My parents provided this magazine to me, but I'm not sure where they stand on these issues raised by Watchtower.
What we learn from Jesus Christ.
I'm going to let you drink this in, friends. No input from me. I'm just going to let you look at this scene here and understand what Jehovah's Witnesses think is happening. You're getting a free preview inside the brain of Jehovah's Witnesses. If you've ever wondered what goes on in a Jehovah's Witness mind, this is what is going on. This is what's inside their heads, and this might give you a clue as to what's, yeah. Also, we have some questions for Jehovah's Witnesses that they dwell on.
How can the devil harm us?
And this picture goes with it. I love it. It's like butter toast. And how can we stop Satan from harming us? Do you have realistic goals? See, Jehovah's Witnesses are in a position to talk to us about having realistic goals. That's simply the fact of the situation. And you see, in the world offers you unrealistic goals, like running with a woman on the sand. Impossible. Is not an achievable goal. Or having a stack of money you can count on a table. Not gonna happen. Don't even try. Or achieving a measure of fame or popularity. That's not realistic. But Jehovah's Witnesses choose to focus on the realistic aspects of life. such as taking exquisite delight in Jehovah, and he will give you the requests of your heart. He will, if you are a faithful worshiper, you will achieve perfect health, material security, and everlasting life in paradise. So, I'm glad Jehovah's Witnesses are keeping us grounded in reality and not in this. Boy, I'm sure this isn't going to be racist. In search of gold, they found a home. Yes, Chinese people in the old days were always searching for gold, but then they found a home. It's like a Disney movie. And this magazine wasn't written by crusty old men, so I'm sure it won't there will be nothing offensive or demeaning in here. Wearing traditional pigtails and coolie hats, the men often jogged single file, chanting as they went. No, this isn't patronizing. Because now Chinese people have found something better than gold. They found Jehovah's Witnesses. What I like about Jehovah's Witnesses, whenever anyone says, aren't children too young to be talking about sex, they stand their ground and assert that they are not too young. Children are never too young to describe graphic sex acts to. And for example, Javen, age 3, my husband and I discussed his private parts and parts of the body. I was so happy to I bet you were. About the, which explains it would be wrong for anyone to play with one's private parts. The doctor was very impressed that we had discussed this. I have my doubts about that doctor. And that is an easily impressed doctor, I will say that. By the way, just a question. If children are never too young, if this is not a taboo subject and children are never too young, how come in the thousands of pages of the Bible child molestation is never mentioned? The topic of child abuse was not addressed by the first century congregation. Did they not have the new light yet that children are not too young? Children are not too young to discuss sex with. And they didn't realize that in Bible times, but we realize it now. The book then shows how even young children can be taught to protect themselves if someone tries to molest them. Hold on. You're going to teach a little girl that the way not to get molested is to try to physically a young child can physically combat a grown man. But what's out of the question is having the little girl's parents call the police if there's any suspects. Again? Wait, you just devoted half a Watchtower magazine to children's sex. I'm doing these chronologically. That was just like 2 magazines ago. Again? Really? You're devoting half of another Watchtower magazine to children and sex. And they love this topic, folks. I mean, I think this picture says it all, doesn't it? Yeah. The JW children, they have something in store for them. Something's coming their way. And, you see, the sexual landscape has changed. Do they have to bring up landscaping? That's not a double entendre, by the way. Landscaping is not a sexual term, so that's not a clever play on words. There is no longer the quick definition of sex, a husband says. There is oral sex, anal sex, cyber sex. Oh, golly. Try to talk to children about sex. It's on their minds anyway. Let's just get into it. And because it is, the thing is, it's important for you to start educating while they are still quite young. Hit them while they're quite young. Get them thinking about it. Get it rattling around in their minds. You see, unless they live in total isolation, children begin hearing about sex at an early age. And because they hear about sex at an early age, the way to solve that problem is to start letting them hear about it at an early age. And yeah, I think these pictures depict it quite nicely here. You have this. You can tell this woman is Jehovah's Witness. You can tell when you're in a Jehovah's Witness situation. The adult has a very they have a very curious smile on their face. They are very happy about something. And the child is equally pleased to be discussing graphic sex. Because, after all, friends, here we have, let's let the readers weigh in. What do you think? We'll get some comments from our readers here. I know so many twisted things about sex. Things that I think my father has no clue about. That is from Ken in Canada. Thank you, Ken. Thank you for letting all the other Watchtower readers know that you know twisted things about sex. I think this is very appropriate. We have a 7-year-old Chinese girl, and just below it, so many twisted things about sex that are time to discuss. By the way, off the record, just between us guys here, can I tell you about in the 80s, every fucking Kingdom Hall I can remember in the 1980s had a guy just like this in a wheelchair, and he was always surrounded with boys like this, telling them stories, and they'd have boys sit on their laps. Every fucking Kingdom Hall had this exact same scene here going on. But don't worry, because this man is in a wheelchair for whatever reason, I'm sure he's impotent. And he probably can't walk. He probably needs that wheelchair. I'm sure of that. And this is not a clever guise.
Will change his lives.
Indeed it does. And here we have Natalie Ham. And hello, Natalie Ham. I also enjoy a good ham. We have that in common. She enjoys a pig in a blanket. What? She married a guy named Ham. She enjoys a good sausage. Calm down. You people are sick. My mother and I enjoyed a restored relationship now that I came crawling back. And that's very nice, Natalie. But can I ask you, why would you want... I'm glad that you have a restored relationship, but why would you seek to have a relationship predicated upon you changing your beliefs to conform with someone else's? And if you are conforming, if you had to give up who you were and conform your religious beliefs exactly to someone else's in order to have a relationship with them, do you really have a relationship with them? Or are you deluding yourself? Just kidding, Natalie Ham. Enjoy that summer sausage. Summer sausage. That's when it gets into the sweaty days of summer. Oh my God. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, they don't make guys like this anymore. This man is not a schmuck, I'm sure. And we will confirm that by reading this caption. The witnesses didn't tell me what to believe. Why would you think that? The witnesses didn't tell me what to believe. This man is not deluded, by the way. That is not the face of a delusional... Still, that's kind of a weird thing to just say. Alright, well, this gentleman here seems to be very proud of the proclamation he's making. Hear that? The witnesses didn't tell me what to believe. Why would you think that? And he's got the shirt and the tie and the look. The witnesses didn't tell me what to believe. I believe you. Because Jehovah's Witnesses have a policy of not telling people what to believe. They don't do that. The Jehovah's Witnesses have a live and let live, kind of belief system. That's what they always say. Sometimes everyone believes what they want to believe. Sometimes it turns out to be exactly what Watchtower Magazine tells you to believe. Sometimes it doesn't. And it's just different strokes for different folks. The witnesses didn't tell me what to believe. The witnesses didn't tell me what to believe. The witnesses didn't tell me what to believe.
Don't take away from me. I need you to hold on to. Don't take away from me. I need someone to hold on to. Don't take away from me. I need you to hold on to. Don't take away. don't know what you mean. Seems like salvation comes only in our dreams. And feel my hatred grow all the more extreme. Can this world really be as sad as it seems?
These two people are members of an Armageddon Doomsday group. Do you still feel that they have a better vantage point from which to warn you? I'm just kidding, friends. Calm down. I'm joking, but seriously though, what we have here is logical fallacy number 4 of any kind. They are self-appointed. You may notice they came to the beach not even wearing swimming suits, but they insist that you, even though you're swimming along and you feel like you're doing fine, they insist to you that you are in terrible danger and your life is at stake. However, you find out a little later that and topic, what makes a marriage last? Everyone knows that. Great fucking. What? What? Great fucking does make a marriage last. Are you disputing that? Ay, ay, ay. Guards on the beach. Your parents have a better vantage point from which to warn you of potential danger. A blanket statement. I enjoy those. But that actually sounds like pretty good advice. However, may I ask you, what if you were enjoying a day at the beach, swimming along, minding your own business, when suddenly 2 people show up, and they say they know what's best for you? Now, these people have no authority.